Hi, my name is Candace, and this is kind of my introductory video of me personally. So I am 44 years old. I have two children. I have a boy and a girl, Cameron and Ayla. I am also a stay-at-home mom who fosters kitties and have my own cats, dogs, and animals, of course. I also have a very rare autoimmune liver disease. Now, I know the minute I say liver disease, someone is going to automatically think alcohol or drugs or that nature, but it is 100% not related to any alcohol. I actually can still have a drink or a glass of wine if I want to. Although now I am in a later stage, which I'll get to. I just kind of want to go back and tell you how they figured it out. So years ago, when I first moved out here, I had started getting a lot of stomach pain, and it was right in the sternum area, okay? So time and time again, it didn't matter if I ate, drank, didn't eat, didn't drink. There would be times during the day or evening or middle of the night where I'd wake up like just screaming in pain. No idea why. So going to the doctors, they kept prescribing me antacids, and then they went to stronger antacids, and then they did some tests and decided to remove my gallbladder. Still kept happening. And then unfortunately I had gained a ton of weight. I shot up over 300 pounds. So I decided to go and get a gastric lap band to lose weight, which I did amazing. I had it for 10 years. But because the portacath was also right in the sternum, then the doctor started blaming that. And I kept trying to tell them, no, wasn't that, but they kept blaming that anyway. So years had gone by, and I'm in the ER once, twice a week even, for morphine because the pain became so bad. But I just kept fighting through it and kept taking these antacids and I would drink a bottle of Pepto a week is how bad it was getting, but it never helped. And I kept trying. So at any rate, they did an ERCP, which is the scope down the throat, and to clean out the sludge in my gallbladder and an area, but still didn't help. Now we're gonna fast forward. I had met a man, got married, had my kids, but shortly after I got pregnant with my daughter, I started to become extremely tired. And I thought, okay, it's just normal pregnancy stuff, right? But it continued. And they didn't tell me, but during my whole pregnancy, you get blood tests and stuff done, that my liver numbers kept going up and up and up during the pregnancy with my daughter, my second child. So at the end of the pregnancy, after I had my daughter, they decided to keep doing my blood tests, and the numbers never went down. In fact, they kept getting higher. So I was sent to a specialist. The specialist looked at my numbers, and immediately he said, you have this, but let's do a biopsy to confirm. So after almost 10 years of suffering with the pain, I found out I have what's called primary biliary cirrhosis. Now, they have recently changed the name because, again, cirrhosis, people always associate it with alcohol. So now it's called primary biliary cholangitis, PBC still for short. I was devastated. I had no idea what this meant. Now, I was told I was in the early stages. There's 4 stages. I was in the early stages, so early stage 1. And the pain that I was getting was at the very tip of my liver. Most people get the pain here. I was getting it at the very tip of the liver. Now, fast forward, I am now 8 years diagnosed. 9 years diagnosed. So it took a year after my daughter was born to fully get the full diagnosis. And I am now, unfortunately, still progressing, even with the medication, and I am early stage 4, which means I do have early cirrhosis in my liver. The fatigue is overwhelming. I sleep every day, and if I don't take a nap during the day, I tend to suffer with restless leg all night, insomnia. It's different for every patient, I'll tell you that. And 9 out of 10 patients are women. So for myself, I suffer from restless leg, which is very, very intense. I was on a very, very high dose of, actually, pramipexole is what it's called, for Parkinson's disease, but it wasn't working. And so I went off that because I actually started to get sensitive to it. And then I also have the chronic fatigue. I have neuropathy in arms. I've had carpal tunnel surgery in both my hands, but I have ulnar neuropathy in both my arms. So a lot of times I'll hang on to something and all of a sudden my arms will give out and drop. I have, they call it brain fog, but I do have very intense brain fog where I can't even remember family members' names at times, or people I've known most of my life. And I'll forget their names, or, just silly things. And I still think, okay, I'm going to remember this. I'll have no problems remembering this as something that I can remember. And then I forget all the time. I also have depression, which goes along with it. But I had depression long before this diagnosis. Let's see, what else? So now I'm focusing. I've had another surgery because I had unfortunately lost my gastric band. It slipped and I was hospitalized for a couple months because I couldn't eat or drink or swallow anything. They removed that, and I recently, almost 2 years ago, it'll be 2 years this coming February, that I had a gastric sleeve done. And I'm actually at my lowest weight. I haven't been this weight since I was in high school. So, but unfortunately, I still don't feel good. I'm still very tired. And if I do push myself, then I can be down for days or weeks, depending on what happens. Recently, I got an infection in my mouth, excuse me, because another thing that happens is I have no saliva, which means I need to drink. So part of another disease that I have is Sjogren's and Raynaud's. I'll get into that one. But Sjogren's means I'm dry, like, excuse me, dry mouth, nose, eyes, like everything's dry. I cannot eat without having a drink, or I can't swallow anything. But it's wreaking havoc in my mouth and my teeth. My teeth are rotting terribly fast now. And I had thrush, and it came out of nowhere this August 22nd, actually. And I thought I had got something stuck up in a broken tooth, which I was getting fixed. And I thought something got stuck up in the gums. So I was flossing and flossing. And then I got like little blisters. And then the blisters spread. And I couldn't eat, I couldn't drink, I couldn't do anything. I had gone to the ER. They sent me to the dentist, and I'd gotten prescriptions after prescriptions. And after 4 days of not eating or drinking, I went back to the ER and got a different prescription and IV fluids and IV pain meds. And then I was sent home. And then 2 days later, I had to go back because I still couldn't eat or drink. So this went on for almost 14 days before they finally started to like they gave me what's called a pink lady so that I took my first bite of food and drink in 2 weeks. But the thrush lasted up until about 3 weeks ago. So, and this was after so many antibiotics. I have gone back to the dentist and I had a bunch of my teeth fixed. And within 24 hours, my gum swelled up and I had another infection in my mouth, which I still have. Unfortunately, today I woke up and I feel like I've got the thrush coming back. It sucks because it's taking me down. I'm very weak. The medication that I was on for the thrush, I couldn't even stand up. I was dizzy all the time. And it's very, very, very hard on my little tiny stomach sleeve. So I'm not sleeping very well. And it's devastating because I have 2 young children. And for me to do things with my kids, I fight. And yes, like I do sleep a lot. The kids know that I'm not 100% healthy. They know everything that's going on. Even the fact that I may need a transplant in the near future. Unfortunately, with this particular disease, they will not transplant me until I turn completely yellow. I have to have a certain count and a certain failure in my liver before they'll do it because, number 1, it is autoimmune, so it can come back. 2, they want me to keep it as long as it is functioning, as long as possible, because there's a chance of rejection, there's a chance of all kinds of things. The liver is it is the only organ that can regenerate. So one of you, my viewers, might be able to be a living donor, for instance, where you can give me, what they do is they take 60% of your liver and give it to me, and your 60% will grow back, and that I will get the other 40% will grow from that piece of liver as well to a full liver again. Researching it, you can only donate once as a living donor, just so you know. There is a lot more to this disease, and itchiness is another one. A lot of people don't even know they have it, but they become very itchy. I didn't get the itch, I got the pain and the fatigue. Those were my 2 biggest symptoms. I do get itchy now. When I do get itchy, I turn black and blue from scratching, and I don't even have to scratch. I can go like this and I will turn black and blue. On my Facebook page, I've posted pictures before of my legs, because that's where my itchiness is the most prevalent, is on my legs when I do get it. And I can just rub my leg like this and I'll have, it looks like I'm being beat up, quite honestly. It can be terrible. If I can figure out how to edit this video properly, I will throw in a couple pictures for you to see here. Now, moving forward, because I am stay at home, I have a deep passion for animals. I have been on the board of the Humane Society here locally, and when I got sick is when I left. So I decided just to be a foster parent. And then, I adopted my own animals. I had my cats and my dogs, and now I've got a lot of cats and a lot of dogs. I've recently purchased some farmland with my fiance now. And it's going to take us a couple years, unfortunately, because we just don't have the money to build and to move out onto the property. I have to renovate this house and get it fixed up enough to sell it. So it's going to take time. I also have a rabbit tree. I just recently became registered with the ARBA, American Rabbit Breeders Association, registered breeder. I am still very new and learning so much. I started out with 1 pet rabbit, and I was told my Lily was a Lily, like a girl. So I got a second girl. Lily was Leo. So I had my first set of babies. Now, I've always been a very big fan of lop-eared rabbits. I was told he was a purebred, but it turns out he wasn't. So I was naive. I didn't know very much about the rabbit industry or anything for that matter. But I fell in love, and I fell in love with babies. How can you not, right? they're as ugly as they can be when they're born. And if I can figure out how to edit a video, I'll throw in a picture of newborn baby bunnies for you. But my other video, I think I've shown some pictures of newborns. So I had babies and I thought, oh, this is so cool. And I decided to kind of get into, a few rabbits and check them out and breed some other rabbits. And I learned a lot, some really good things and some very negative things. And with any type of breeding industry, there's a lot of flack. The rabbit industry is quite different because a lot of the ones that do the shows and breeds, they do a lot of culling. And I am not comfortable with that. So anything that I wouldn't push forward into my rabbitry now, any mixed breeds or anything like that, I want to put out as pets. Another whole scenario there. So that brings us to today's date. I do have a bunny barn now. I actually worked on it all last weekend and insulated it because I had this room actually as my bunny barn. But I have too many bunnies now to be in the house. So I now have a bunny barn, and I have made this into my home business office, which I do Avon and Scentsy. I still have work to do in here. I don't know if you can, which way am I turning? There we go. So I have a little bit of work to do to get it finished, set up, and organized. I'm having trouble with my laptop. It's brand new and I'm still trying to figure it out. And when I do up a video on there, I don't hear any playback sound. So again, this is kind of why I'm struggling. So I'm using my phone right now. I don't have a video camera. This is all I have right now. So I just wanted to introduce myself to you physically, and hope that you will follow me in my journey. I do a lot of canning and gardening, a lot of my pets and my fosters, my rabbits, and my businesses. And then again, I help people all the time. I do like support for other people with this disease. So if you are interested and you want to follow, please subscribe. I'd appreciate it. And like the videos. The more likes the videos get, apparently, the better. So I'm, again, just learning about YouTube. My kids are big YouTube video watchers, and I've watched a few other that I've subscribed to as well. So I think it's so cool. And I'm hoping to just not only bring awareness to someone who has a hidden disease, but to know what it's like to live with one. Again, mine is called primary biliary cholangitis, but I do now have stage 4 cirrhosis. So that is me for now. I don't get all dressed up. Sometimes I don't even brush my hair for a week because I don't leave the house. And of course, with COVID, that makes it even worse. I'm also one that does not wear a mask. I can't. It totally freaks me out and I have panic attacks. I think a lot of it has to do with my dry mouth too, and covering anything covering my face. I've never really liked anything covering my face, but neither here nor there. I do have an exemption, a medical exemption from my doctor. So I don't go out very often, and I just kind of hang out here at the house. I do, like I said, sleep a lot, play with the bunnies and the foster kitties. This is another foster I just recently got. I got the 2 brothers. They look almost identical. This one here is O'Malley, and he's up for adoption. He's so sweet, and he's half the size of his sibling, who his name is Thomas because he's a big tomcat. Anyway, I appreciate you watching my video and learning about me, and I do hope you will subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thank you and have an awesome day.